Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Cocoa Vanilla Studio. I am using the Great Escape collection I'm going to make a layout with it. Okay, so I have recently decided that my layouts are a bit cluttered and a bit crazy because I like to use all the things. I get a bit over enthused. So I am trying to channel my inner minimalist and make some layouts which are a bit more serene, minimal. Don't know how long it'll last, but I'm going to give it a go. So this is going to be one of those layouts. So I have decided on two pieces of paper. They are both from the A5 paper stack. I've gone for the white wood grain and I've gone for the stripy one because I like all the colours. Won't go too minimalist. So I've gone for those two papers and I've cut two strips. I'm just going to distress the edges. And then I've cut my photo to sit on one of those strips. So I've left the top and bottom borders on my photo just to give a little bit of separation against the paper. Otherwise the two white edges of my photo have been cut off to match the shape of the width of the paper. It's a little bit different for me. Normally I would have my photo sitting on top of the two pieces. I probably would have gone over the gap, but I decided to try this where my photo kind of blends into part of my layout design. Anyway, I don't know how well I've actually achieved it, but I've given it a good go. I don't know if I'll stick to this kind of style or if I'll go back to my crazy layouts. But at the moment, I'm just trying something different. Basically, I scrapbook all the time, and sometimes it's nice to do something a little bit different. Puts you out of your comfort zone a little bit when I feel like I do the same thing over and over and over again. So that's why I just feel like it's time to mix things up and try something new. So that's what I'm doing. So as you can see, I'm now just trying to build my clusters. I've added my title. Now I've gone vertical for my title, which is unusual for me, but I thought I would give that a go. I like how it sits along that line of the page or the panel on the background, and that goes along that line. So that works for me, but it is sideways, which I just find a bit weird. Always find it a bit weird, but always like it when it's done. But when I first start putting the title that way around, I'm like, oh, can people read it? Is that okay? But is it the right way? Yeah. So anyway, but it looks fine. You can see that I'm building my clusters bottom, right, and top left. Top left, I've got a signpost from the chipboard. And I've got some flowers which I've pulled from the Heart and Home collection. The flowers from the Heart and Home collection go really well with the Great Escape, and there's no flowers in the Great Escape collection. I'm just pulling a few in the right colours from there. Bottom right, again, I've got more flowers. I wanted to bring in the greeny colour, so I thought I'd add some of the leaves from the flowers, which I'm just going to pop in a minute. I've also got a couple of flags cut from the paper with all the flags on it, and just fussy cutting those out and getting those added in as well. So again, I'm trying to constantly remind myself to go a bit more minimal and not to just throw everything at the paper. Which is what I normally do. So I'm just trying to get my clusters to be a bit coherent and make sense, as opposed to just chuck it all on type thing. And I think I mostly achieved that, except with this little cluster on the left side at the bottom, those two flags, and then I put an arrow there as well. And that piece in the middle. I probably could have done without all of those, but I don't want to go too far with this whole minimalist thing because I have to stay me. Anyway, I will see how it goes. So yeah, I've got my little clusters coming together nicely. I've just added a couple of stars. They are fussy cut from one of the papers, and then I've got a star at the top, an open star at the top left, which is from the ephemera. I've added in some feathers as well, and I just thought that my layout needed a little bit of ink glow behind my clusters. So that's what I mentioned about bringing in the green colour. I wanted to bring in the green from the collection. So I've done that with a little bit of ink under those flowers, and then I felt that those flowers weren't green enough, so that's why I've added some leaves in, but they're not here yet. They are coming. So yeah, anyway, I'm liking the green. I think it just adds a little something, brings a bit more colour to a layout that is quite stark. And I say, I normally fill my pages with pattern paper, so I'm struggling with the minimal colour, hence why I went for the stripes. So the ink did help with that. And I'm also adding in those leaves now and a bit more ink under those as well. So that's good. I'm happy with that. It gives a little bit more colour to the page. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I did the same thing at the top as well. Just stuck my clusters together, then moved them out of the way, and then added that ink and then added the clusters back in and some leaves as well, some extra leaves as well. So by doing that, I've extended the design as well. I've made both clusters much longer than what they originally were, but that's good. I'm happy. It feels a bit more like me whilst also trying to embrace the minimalism as well. Yeah, and then I can't help myself and I add another strip of pattern paper in a minute. In a way, I wish I'd left it as it is now. But again, I just kind of can't help myself because my style generally is to add loads. So anyway, there we go. It's looking good. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. I'm just making sure everything is stuck in place. And now I'm adding that strip of paper I mentioned earlier. So I do like how this looks. I mean, it still works really well with the different patterns that I've got and the blocks of pattern paper that I've got going on there. And having that gap in the middle just gives a brilliant place to put a title. So I do like how it looks, but I do kind of wish I'd left it. But anyway, it is what it is. It's done. So everything's stuck down. That strip of paper's in place. I'm just adding to my clusters with some little bits. So I've got some puffy star stickers. And I've got that chipboard arrow coming in there to point towards the "Not All Who Wander Are Lost" sticker that I love. All my little flags down the bottom there. Just going to add today's vibe green at the top of the photo. And then just adding in a few little sequins. I'm going to get those stuck down. And then I'm pretty much done other than a few splatters of black paint, which I'm just doing now. So I'm just using a paintbrush to pick up a few splatters and splatter those on. I'm not going crazy, just a few over the embellishment clusters. I love the black. The pop of black gives a touch of contrast and matches the title as well. There we go, layout complete. I hope that you enjoyed seeing it come together. It's a little bit different for me, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. And yeah, that was Nikki Rowland for Cocoa Vanilla Studio. Bye for now.